Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. We're continuing our series about how we grew our collection. And after Pandora, this was the next snake I got. And you're probably looking and saying, gee, it looks just like Pandora. And you'd be right, they look pretty similar. I can tell them apart in pattern and size a little bit. But this is my girl Demeter. And Demeter was a special purchase for me as well. And yep, she's just a pastel. There's nothing super crazy going on here. But the reason we bought her was I paid dearly for this. I'll tell you what I paid for it. I paid, you're going to scream, I paid $600 for this animal, and I also got a homemade incubator at the same time for that price. But she was proven. She had been bred for the last couple of years and it produced. And at the time, proven pastels were a lot more expensive than they are now. It's kind of the way the snake market works. And I don't have a problem paying that. I've recouped everything, so no worries. But the reason I wanted her so bad was because I was thinking I'm going to do this breeding thing, and I was reading up on it, and I was doing all this studying, and I was feeling pretty prepared. I'd been studying for months and months and months and months and months. Kurt jokes, because I think one time I told him that I thought I had read everything there was to read on the internet when it came to ball pythons, because I'd try to Google new questions and just get the same articles I'd already read. It was maddening. And so I'd done a bunch of research. I'd talked to a lot of people. I felt pretty prepared, but I had no experience. And there's a difference in research and experience. And so I bought her because she was proven. And I wanted a proven female, so if things didn't work, like let's say things didn't work out, then I would know that it wasn't my female. I know it was me. I wouldn't have the excuse of, oh, my female just wasn't ready, or oh, my female, isn't fertile, or any of that. Because I knew she was fertile. I knew she should be ready. Didn't mean she'll go every year, obviously, but the chances of the problem being with the snake were a lot less buying a proven female. So that's why I purchased Demeter. Now her name came from, we did a Facebook naming contest as we were trying to grow our little social media page that people could follow us and see what we were doing on. You have to scroll way back to find that. And they picked Demeter, and they said they chose it because she was about Demeter long. And I think we narrowed it down to 3, and then when we had it down to 3, we let people vote on their favorite, and Demeter is what won, so Demeter is who she is. If you'll notice right now, too, kind of a cool thing to show you with the snake. Come on over here, camera guy. Show it from the top view looking down. If you can, you'll notice that she's starting to look really, there you can see it, triangular right through here. See how that's really triangular, looking really thick? She has been bred a lot, and she is probably the furthest along female this year, I think. Maybe. She's gonna, and she usually produces, close to double-digit eggs. Did do double-digit for me once. So she is going to go. You can really see that building through that lower portion of the body. It's going to be awesome. Like, her next shed, I can't wait for that, because it'll be time to fire up the incubator then. So, really exciting stuff. So anyway, that's why we purchased her, and she did do her job. Her first year I bred her, she did produce for me. That was the clutch I told you about where all the eggs went bad, because I put too much moisture in there. My fault. So if you watch our Tale of Success and Failure video, this is the snake I'm talking about. It was her first clutch that I'm talking about that went bad. But the year after that, we bred her again, and she did wonderful for us. She produced my first gold snake, which was a killer bee, which we've featured a lot. You'll see when we get to her video. And then I also bred her last year, and she produced for me again. She didn't produce any killers last year. It was the same pairing, but she produced really well, and through good, healthy babies that have all done, for the most part, really well. And her odds, she's always done pretty good on the odds, except for only one killer. But very, very few normals, so I'll take it. And this year, again, we've paired her to Apollo, or Bumblebee, male. We bought him and her from the same guy, actually. He'd sold off a few males, then later on he contacted me with telling me he had her, and I jumped at it because he'd had a new baby and he just didn't have the time to continue breeding. So I bought this, and I bought his incubator, and that's how I kind of got Demeter. So anyway, Kurt, any questions?
Nope.
No questions. I promise you guys, I promise, next week, I'm not going to show you a pastel. How about that? I'll get something different out from a pastel. It's not going to be all pastel all the time. Although I do love pastel. I think it makes almost any combination better. There are a few things I don't like it with. I'm not a big fan of pastel and banana together. I just don't think it does well with those. But personal opinions, people love it.
Or pastel champagne.
Actually, I like pastel champagne. See, Kurt's piping in over there because Kurt hates champagne. I don't know why. Like, he does. He hates champagne, and I like champagne. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact you got to kind of be careful with what you breed to it, because there's some lethal combos out there. But otherwise, I really like champagne. And he just, like, he hates it. When I bought my first champagne, and we'll do a video on her too, I was like so excited. And I showed Kurt, and he's like, he goes, it looks like somebody took it outside and rolled it around in a mud puddle. I was like, what the hell, man? I think this thing's awesome. And he's never liked champagne since then. He just never had a taste for it. So, you know, to each their own, I guess. But I'm going to make something with champagne that Kurt likes. It's going to happen. And in reference to this pastel, you put pastel to champagne, it has a really weird reaction, actually. It's really funky. And you get almost kind of this digital camo look a lot of times. Really exciting stuff. It's actually a combo I want to do, but I won't want to do just pastel to champagne. I want pastel and something else with champagne. I haven't decided what I want that third gene to be yet. Maybe something like Mojave. Something like that would be really cool. So anyway, there is that. All right, Kurt, any more questions? Or
no.
Do you want to take any more shots at champagne while we're at it? You know? No? All right, guys, thanks for watching, and this is Demeter. Demeter also has a distinction of being my largest ball python. And you can see, lengthwise, she's, you know, they don't get too long. I'm 6'2", and she's probably, if I could ever stretch her all the way out, I'm not going to force her to, maybe 4.5, you know, feet, maybe 5, I don't know. And she chunks in at, usually this year it's been about 3,500 grams, I think. It's been a bit since I weighed her, but she's usually a pretty good sized girl. And she gets bigger every year. And that's one thing when you're breeding too. Even these big girls, if I breed her this year, she lays, 10 eggs. I always monitor their weight and I keep records on it. Because next year if I come into breeding season, and before I start breeding her, I realize she's significantly lighter than she was the year before. That's when I'll cycle them and give them a year off. And I won't breed them for a year. So I want to make sure their body recovers fully. Now, if she's the same size or bigger, then hey, we'll go ahead and breed her. We'll breed her year after year after year after year. I don't care if it's 2 years or 10 years. As long as she's recovering nicely, we'll continue to breed her. But the first time she doesn't recover, we'll give her a year off, and then we'll check her again the following year and see where we're at. Because I do really care about the health of these animals. So if the body doesn't recover from the stress of having babies, we'll give them a year off to recover. So, and she's earned that right. She's produced really well for me over the years. So, if she ever needs a year off, I'll have no problem giving it to her. Figure she's earned it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And again, that's my girl Demeter.